All right, today we're going to talk about box and whisker plots. So to talk about box and whisker plots, we have to talk about quartiles. And what quartiles are values that divide the data set into 4 equal parts. So the big thing to remember about quartiles is it's not saying that the space between the quartiles is going to be the same amount between each data value. What it's saying is that 1/4 of the data is going to be in the lower quartile, 1/4 of the data is between the first and second quartile, and so on. So interquartile range is the difference between the third and the first quartiles. Okay? So here's kind of an example here. So we have our values 2, 4, 5, 6, 9, 11, 12, 13, 21, 23, 25. The first thing we want to do is we want to find our median. Our median is our middle value. So our middle value here is going to be 11. Now to find my lower quartile, my quartile 1, is I'm going to find the median of my lower values here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so my median then is my third value, which is 5. So quartile 1 of my is going to be a value of 5. Now quartile 3 is I'm going to find the median of the upper half of the data. So 12, 13, 21, 23, 25. So my quartile 3 is going to be 21. Now my interquartile range is the difference between these values. So quartile 3 minus quartile 1, or 21 minus 5, which is 16. So the main part of today is this box and whisker plot. So a box and whisker plot is a graph that summarizes a set of data by displaying it along a number line. And this is kind of what a box and whisker is going to look like. It's going to have a box and 2 whiskers, one on each side. Now those whiskers might be long, they might be short, they might be right at the edge of the box also. Okay? So our first example lists a bunch of data here. And it says, what are the minimum, the first quartile, the median, the third quartile, and the maximum? Now the first thing we need to do is we need to place these all in order. So we're going to place this in order. So I have 75, 80. Go ahead and mark those off. 125, 126, 135, 140, 140, and then 350. And so the first thing I can do is now I can find my minimum and maximum pretty quick, right? My minimum is my lowest value. So my minimum here is 75. My maximum is my largest value, or 350. So now I need to find my median, okay? So I'm going to find my median here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 data values. So I'm going to find the median, or the average between those two numbers. So my median is going to be 126 plus 135 divided by 2. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. So I get a median of 130.5. So my median here is 130.5. Now I need to find my first quartile. So right in between here, I have my median. Right? And we know it's 130.5. Now I need to find the median of my bottom set of data and the median of my top set of data. And that's going to be my first quartile and my third quartile. So here, I'm going to find between those two. So quartile 1 is going to equal 80 plus 125 all over 2. So that gives me 205 over 2. So my bottom quartile is going to be 102.5. So my first quartile is 102.5. Now my third quartile, I have to find the median of my upper half of the data. So I have 4 values. I'm going to find the median between there. So quartile 3 is 140 plus 140 over 2. We should know that that averages out to 140. So my third quartile here is going to be 140. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at having data and putting it into a box and whisker plot. Okay. So let me get the data up there. Erase this real quick. So we're going to have these data values. So 303, 307, 311, 312, 314, 314, 314, and they're already in order. I've already put them in order to kind of save some time. Okay. So we know that this is the minimum, right? The min. This is my max. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at finding the interquartile range, and we're going to set this up into a box and whisker. Right? So the first thing I need to do is I need to find my median. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 data points. So I'm going to have 5 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my median. Okay. Now the nice thing about the median is when I come down here, I'm going to write 314. There's my median. Okay. Now I'm going to find my quartile 1. And so what I need to do now is find the median in these values here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the median value is the third value. So this is my quartile 1. Okay. So this comes down here, and I'm going to put it right here. So this is 311, and that's the first side of my box. Now my whisker is going to extend down to my minimum. Okay. And it's fairly different. So we have down here, there's my whisker, and this point here is going to be 303. Okay, so that's the bottom half of my box and whisker plot. Now to find the upper half, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to find the median of my upper value, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to find that middle value, 1, 2, 3. That's quartile 3. Okay, so it's 316. And you notice that this box is bigger because it's a little bit more distance here, 3 and 2. Okay, and I'm going to go out to my max value of 321. There's my upper whisker. Okay. Now my interquartile range is going to be the difference, 316 minus 311, or 5. So my interquartile range is 5. So when we're looking at this, 25% of my data is in this part, 25% is here, 25% is here, 25% is here. We're breaking that up into quartiles. Okay, this one's a little different because we have 3 values located right at our median. So if I were looking at cumulative, so here I have, so this is cumulative, I have 25% here, 50% here, 75% here. So this is kind of where they get that percentile ranking. So if I had a 316, I would be in the 75th percentile. Okay. You can infer information from box and whisker. Remember, this middle value is your median, min, max, quartile 1, quartile 3. That's box and whisker plots.